Hi, it's Paul with Colorado Counseling Center. Today I'd like to talk about genuine forgiveness, the fourth approach to forgiveness identified by Janice Abrams Spring in her book, How Can I Forgive You? In contrast with cheap forgiveness, refusing to forgive, or acceptance, genuine forgiveness is fundamentally relational. The way I've expressed this to my own clients is that relationship problems require relationship solutions, or at least relational wounds heal best in the context of a caring relationship where both people are willing to do the hard work to earn forgiveness and to grant it. Now, one of the important things about genuine forgiveness is that it really does require work on the offending party's part. They have to be willing to bear witness to the pain they've caused. And that is a scary prospect for a lot of people who've caused their partner great harm, or they've caused someone they care about great harm. They can be worried about whether they'll just be dragged through the mud forever, whether they'll have to live in pain every single day. They need to become more concerned about the other party's pain than their own sense of entitlement to forgiveness. They need to be willing to really bear witness to the damage that they've caused. They can do this in a number of ways. One of the important ways that they can do it is by being willing to initiate discussion about the event or the things that caused the hurt in the first place. They shouldn't wait for the hurt party to bring it up, hoping that it's drifted downstream far away from them. They should, on occasion, maybe even frequently, bring it up to their partner, not forcing a conversation, but allowing the other person room to express their pain and their hurt. It might sound like, hon, I've been thinking about what happened between us last year and how I was unfaithful. And I know it must haunt you still. And so whenever you're in pain, I want you to come to me. Come to me first. I caused the pain. I want to be there to help you heal. So that's just an example. There isn't a script of perfect words to say. But the essential elements are that it's genuine, that it's profoundly heartfelt, that we're willing to go into the pain that we've caused, and that we are starting the discussions, not just waiting for the other person to come to us. When we initiate this discussion, we also need to be ready to receive whatever feelings might come back our direction. They might be suspicion, the other person might not believe that we're sincere. We need to honor that there's a reason for that. They don't have a lot of reason to trust us. We might be met with anger or feelings of rage or betrayal. And we have to make room for all of that if the other person is really to believe our sincerity and if we're really to open our hearts to fully heal the relationship. So as we listen, we can listen beyond the hard emotions like anger or rage or betrayal or suspicion, and know that behind that there's a lot of pain that we caused by our own actions. By taking accountability, we allow ourselves the dignity of facing what we've done and beginning to change and to become a better partner, a more whole person, more accountable person. There's a lot of dignity. It's worth doing well, and it's worth taking time. A friend of mine told me a story of a person within a church context who'd been very hurt by one of the leaders of the congregation. And as my friend recounted the story to me, the leader of the congregation went to the person whom he had hurt, and he said, I want you to take as long as it takes to forgive me. Don't rush this. Your pain is important. And I think that's a really good example of how we let the hurt party off the hook. We don't obligate them to forgive us within a certain time frame. It's not on the clock, so to speak. There's a roadmap, but not a time frame. So we listen with an open heart. We bear witness to the pain we've caused. We initiate discussion about it without trying to force a conversation. And we really embody a profound and enduring remorse for the pain that we've caused. Now, that's not just a symbol of how evil or bad we are as a person. It's a symbol of how much the other person matters and how worthy the relationship is of our continued remorse and continued vigilance. Which brings up another really important part of genuine forgiveness. When there's been an interpersonal violation, a deep hurt in a relationship, often the hurt party can become really vigilant. They're scanning the horizon, constantly with their radar on for any encroachment upon them again. They're looking to see if their partner is sincere or if they're hiding things still. And it takes a lot of energy. It can kind of drain the life force right out of a person. If we're really interested in genuine forgiveness, the offending partner needs to be the one who becomes the more vigilant person to make sure that the pain never happens again. In that way, it releases the hurt party from that burden of being constantly vigilant, because the offending party is holding themselves responsible. They are aware of how a situation or a time of year might remind the hurt party of the pain, and they initiate discussion. They do things to help make it safer, to hold themselves accountable, to make themselves transparent, so that there is diminished fear that more things are being hidden or that they're being lied to again. So this transfer of vigilance is one of the most fundamental parts of a lasting, enduring, genuine forgiveness. And as that happens in time, the hurt party is able to relax. Their whole nervous system can begin to calm down because they begin to trust that their partner, the other party who hurt them previously, is now the source of their healing and the source of safety and comfort rather than a source of danger. Again, this is hard work, and often people benefit from having qualified support, whether it's a spiritual leader or a really good couples therapist who can guide them through a process. One form of therapy that is especially effective is emotionally focused therapy that focuses on the bond between two people. And it honors that pain comes from a real need, a need for safety and reassurance and acceptance and belonging. It's a need that both people have. Now, in genuine forgiveness, the hurt party, as the offender works to gain forgiveness, to earn it, the offending partner is willing to grant it, that they're willing to allow more interaction, more closeness over time. But it isn't a cheap forgiveness. It's something that is genuine on both parts, where both people have the dignity of having worked hard to get there. One of my colleagues once wrote in a book that if you see a couple standing at the top of a mountain, chances are they didn't fall there. They had to climb. And so it is with each of us when we've been hurt or when we've caused hurt to those who matter to us in our lives. We need to bear witness. We need to be vigilant. We need to seek to understand what led to our behavior in the first place so that we can work on our character, work on our judgment, work on the things that will make it a safe place for both people, a place of dignity and of worth for both people. Now, this is a process that usually takes some time. As I've mentioned before, it's not good to set a timeline. It's definitely not good to say, this is the last time I'm going to talk about this. We need to let this be water under the bridge. We need instead to lean into the length of the process, to give people the time and the space they need to heal, and thus to allow true transformation to happen in our relationships. If you need help in this process, call us at Colorado Counseling Center if you're here in the Denver area. Or if you're elsewhere, pick up Janice Abrams-Spring's book, How Can I Forgive You? Or perhaps Terry Hargrave's book, Forgiving the Devil. Both are excellent guides, but likely you could benefit from having a qualified person to guide you in the process. So reach out to a qualified couples therapist in your area who can help you find the dignity and the healing of genuine forgiveness. I really hope that this will be possible and will be helpful to you wherever you're at. Thanks again, and stay tuned for an upcoming series.